Honestly, this video could have been a press release here.
You know, the one in which CEOs of two companies hold a folder in one and shake hands with the other?
Why not? But one thing we've learned over the years, seeing is believing.
The last few months have been really exciting. The two teams have been working very closely to unlock 15-minute rapid charging in the Altigreen three-wheeler cargo vehicle, the Neve HD. But no one's seen it yet.
Really? Am I one of the lucky few who has?
Yeah?
Why doesn't the world get a glimpse?
Yeah?
Let's get started.
Let's get started.
I think the vehicle's at 1% SOC, right?
That's right, the vehicle is at 1%. Let's charge it up. By the way, the e-pump and the connector, they both camouflage because the final design is going to be revealed soon. We asked ourselves, why should vehicles have all the camo? We have 15 minutes to kill.
How about some coffee?
Yeah, let's go. Well, we're charging up and pushing at 600 amps right now. It's a little noisy right there because a lot of thermal, a lot of heat.
Did you say 600 amps?
Yeah, it's because it's a 51-volt system. We got to pass 600 amps to actually charge this up in 15 minutes. Yeah.
Wow.
This moment feels like life's come a full circle because I'm not sure if you know this. Altigreen was the first OEM we actually met even before we started Exponent, right? It was a meeting where at your office where we're just trying to figure out everything about the commercial vehicle space, about charging. And I think that meeting gave us a lot more belief and conviction to go build Exponent. I'm not sure if you remember this, but Shailendra actually said, hey, if you're going to build a battery pack that charges up in 15 minutes, you guys will gladly adopt it. And I think both of us have lived up to our ends of the conversation. But putting you on the spot, did you actually believe that we would charge in 15 minutes when we pitched it to you?
I guess, we were in between, I think, awe and disbelief. I don't think we were absolutely certain that you would be able to pull it off. But I think in general, we realized that if you did, we would have a killer app and we would really be able to nail last mile transport in this country. So I think from that perspective, we just threw the challenge and we're very happy that you were able to take it on and you and the team delivered. Yeah, very, very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
Well, it's happening now, and
yeah. So I know a little bit about it, but why don't you tell us a little bit of what's going on over here?
Right. So we have the e-pump, which is our version of the station, and then we have the e-pack that we jointly built together. Right. The e-pack is an 8.1 kilowatt-hour battery pack. It uses regular LFP cells. We allow 90% DOD, which provides a usable range of around 85 kilometers. With fully loaded, and it charges up in 15 minutes. And to do that, we got to do the crazy 600 amps of current to actually get there.
Really, does Tesla even do 600 amps?
No, they don't. I think most vehicles abroad probably work on a higher voltage, so you have lesser currents. But again, this is a unique challenge that we had to solve to unlock India, right? Wow. And but that our job ends at getting the energy to the battery. But after that, it's all Altigreen, it's all the Neve HD, right? So take us through what's special about the Neve HD.
Yeah, so, Altigreen is considered to be one of the oldies of the EV industry. We've been around for the last 9 years. But we realized early on that until you build vehicles for the specific needs of our geography, and by geography, I mean India and the emerging markets of South Asia, Africa, South America, I think the needs here are very different. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's constant, obviously, bad roads, a lot of waterlogging, abuse is rampant, overloading is rampant. So until we're able to build something that works for this geography, we're not going to be able to make a difference.
Yep.
So from day one, back in 2012, we've kind of focused on first building the technology stack that allows good electric vehicles to be built on it. We have pivoted a couple of times, by the way, I must say. We pivoted a couple of times. We started off with hybrids, and we moved to electric drivetrains, and now we are an OEM ourselves. So I think from our perspective, we built technologies that can compete with fossil fuel right at the design stage. And fossil fuels that have been around for 100 years, diesel's been around, it's doing a magnificent job until now. Obviously, it's very harmful for us, lungs and pollution that it is rampantly creating. So there is a need and a very, very aggressive need to make change happen. I don't know if you knew about it, but if you read the latest Lancet report, 2.1 million people lose their lives every year in India because of poor air quality. 25% is attributed to road transport.
Yep.
So something's got to be done on a war footing.
Yep.
Who's going to do it? I think it is going to be the startups like you and I. And I think that's what we did. So we landed up creating a vehicle. Today, the vehicle has the top 4 things in the industry. You'll be surprised to know. Maybe not. But top 4 things in the industry. The longest range, the highest ground clearance, the largest volumetric capacity that you see over here, and of course, the fastest speed. All 4 things keeping in mind the needs for last mile mobility.
And now the fastest charging as well.
There you go. Perfect. Very nice. Yeah. So that's where we are. And what's yours? What's your story? What's going on there?
What's special about Exponent?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I think rapid charging's been around, right, for a long time. But people have always had to use very expensive and bulky cell chemistry. So it's never been scalable. So I think our approach was, I think, India's first, right? How do you build a rapid charging energy stack that everyone in India can own and afford, that can be financed, So we early on realized that if we can rapid charge regular cells, then suddenly rapid charging becomes very affordable and scalable, and that's exactly what we do. We've built a cell agnostic energy pipeline of sorts, right? What really happens here is we've got the e-pump on this side, and we've got the battery pack on the other. So we build both sides of the transaction to ensure energy is just flowing smoothly. Okay? And we can use any cell. So if you look at, if you think cells are buckets, then you can use any bucket. We are sort of building the pipeline that fills that energy up from the grid into every bucket. And a battery's got hundreds of buckets. So every bucket's got to be filled up, it's got to be balanced, and every bucket's got to be managed for life. So our BMS that's sitting inside the battery is constantly monitoring every cell, ensuring that every cell is taken care of. And every charging profile is unique, right? We don't follow something called CCCV, which is a charger just blindly charges the battery. Dynamically, the BMS is trying to figure out what's the best way to charge a battery, relaying that to the e-pump, and together they're trying to figure out the right way. So we call this dynamic sort of adaptive charging, right? And so every time charging is different. Sometimes we finish in 30 minutes, sometimes we finish in 17 minutes, average 14-15 minutes. So we prioritize safety, followed by ensuring cells never degrade, followed by figuring out what's the quickest way to get all that energy across into the battery.
And one of the few things that we early on we liked about your first spiel that you gave to us, I think, was this fact about being cell agnostic. I think to me that was very, very critical, very, very important, because I think a lot of work is being done around rapid charging, but very focused on specific cell chemistries or specific cells and the anode, cathode, and those kinds of things. So I think here is a solution where, irrespective of how cells evolve and new chemistries come about, we will continue to have a fast charge solution, and hopefully we'll continue to bring the price points down.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that I think bang on, right? I think very early on we realized that making cells is a manufacturing problem and not a technology problem, and probably not something that startups will win on, right? A lot of large companies that are at it and they probably will succeed. And today the rate at which cells are getting obsolete, it used to take 10 years for a cell to go obsolete, and today, because there's so much focus, attention, so much R&D money, every 3 years cells go obsolete, which means building a cell agnostic pipeline almost becomes the only way to succeed. And that's what we've done. Every cell pretty much understands voltage, current, temperature, impedance, and we speak those languages. The BMS speaks the languages. So the pipeline remains the same. Keep changing buckets, and actually charging can get faster and get cheaper. And I think that's.
I think that's what we understood, and you probably know that we closed a round of funding recently. And
congratulations on that, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Big amount, 40 million, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've been at it for a while. There were industry speculations whether, the oldies will really be able to, considering all the young crowd out there, whether we will be able to get anything. But I think at some point, maturity, played its part, and people did believe us and trust us. But I think what really worked for everyone, and a couple of things here. One is, our investors, the new investors, I realized that with the PLI scheme and all that that's going on, there are going to be a lot of very good cell manufacturers in India, right? And these guys are going to create huge volumes of cells. And this is not going to be in a specific chemistry. So it's not just lithium, it could be sodium, it could be aluminum, it could be other things, right? And these are going to bring down the price of cells a lot,
Absolutely.
which means that people will start having larger battery packs for the same price, right? And that's when fast charging can play a very, very critical role. So that's number one. I think that's what we love about Exponent, right? That you've built technology that is above cells. It's not related to the cell chemistry below. So that's number one. I think from Altigreen's perspective, we want to continue to push the envelope with respect to vehicles and technologies. And, for us, I think it's taken us a long time because our focus very much is on the user, on the driver.
Yeah.
And we are in a domain where possibly my customer is not appreciated and liked by most people, right? I mean, we're talking about a three-wheeler driver or a small commercial vehicle driver. It doesn't conjure up good images of a healthy person or whatever, right? So we wanted to make sure that when we create a vehicle, it has to be very, very driver-centric. So whenever we build something, it has to cater to his problems, make sure that we are eliminating the problems that he has, whether it is noise, whether it's pollution, whether it is range. So you'll be surprised to know we interviewed about 1,600 three-wheel drivers before we decided to focus on a pack. At that time, the industry was focusing on smaller packs that gave 50, 60 kilometer range. This is 50, 60 kilometers, 70 kilometers, 80 kilometers, and you would charge for an extended period of time, 7-8 hours. So instead, we decided that we'll focus on packs that can be rapid charge, of course, but focus on the driver. We've started off with three-wheelers. I do want to break this paradigm of three-wheelers and three wheels. I do believe that three wheels are going to be very, very interesting for our geography of different formats. Fast,
Actually, that's an interesting teaser. So with the new round of funding, what does the future of vehicles look like?
So we do have three wheels. We will likely add a few more wheels. I don't know if we will subtract wheels from it, but I do feel that we will continue to push this, again, keeping the driver in mind. And I really salute these guys because think about it. It's his livelihood at stake when he's buying an electric vehicle, right? He's still trusting us. Yeah. You and I probably still don't drive an electric vehicle, but this guy is taking that risk. So, hats off to these guys. So I'm really on board with that. And we're really going to be focused on building very good quality vehicles for this segment, for last mile mobility, both passenger and cargo.
I think it's interesting you brought that. There are two things that we deeply resonated with Altigreen, right? Point number one was that driver-specific focus. I think the way I look at it today, when you go from diesel to electric, the vehicle drives better, right? A lot more torque, no vibrations, no clutch, right? And what's not to love, right? But suddenly you have this big hassle of charging. And for us, I think we resonate on the deeper point is how do you make the owning an electric vehicle joyful? How do you instill pride of owning an electric vehicle? And I think that's a point that we deeply resonate on, keeping the driver first. And second point is, I think, engineering first, right?
Yes.
I mean, today's day and age, there's an MOE announcement almost every other day. But I think both organizations have been working for the last 6 months deeply, focusing on engineering, focusing on unglamorous things to actually get the product right. And we're talking about this few months away from actually delivering this to customers. I feel that's very unlikely what happens in the EV space. So I think for both these reasons, I think very early on we realized that Altigreen is the best partnership for us, and I think
vice versa.
We're very, very proud and grateful for this partnership. And
awesome, man.
I think enough talk about us. I think the EV space is fairly buzzing. A lot of things happening. But what's an unpopular opinion that you hold?
Oh my! I think swapping versus fast charge. I'd probably be in the second category. I do believe that there's a lot to be done on the fast charge side because of new cell chemistries coming about. So this whole price war is finally going to come down to uninterrupted mobility, and that's where I do believe that I am in the fast charge camp versus
And I promise you, there's no gun on stage. I am not holding Amitabh hostage.
What's your opinion? What's your opinion? Unpopular opinion.
Right. This might be a little unpopular because I was building two-wheelers before this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I think everyone believes that two-wheeler will be the first space that goes fully electric, and it's probably going to be leading the electric adoption. I think quite the opposite. I think the commercial vehicle space is what's going to actually convert to 100% electric first. Right. Today, it might not. The S-curve is probably a little later in the commercial vehicle space because of the driver profile, etc. we spoke about. But I think the pieces are coming together, and when they do and when it clicks, I think you'll have the whole market flip instantaneously, right?
Hats off to you. Perfect answer as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Actually, our charging is actually done, right? And
Whoa.
like I said, we it takes anywhere between 13 to 16 minutes. Today we've done it in 14 and a half minutes. For 0 to 100% SOC. 1% to 100% SOC.
Incredible. This is amazing. Very nice. You know, that's what it's all about. Wow.
And every time this happens, it feels really surreal that we actually charge a whole vehicle up in 15 minutes. And I cannot be more proud of both the engineering teams, both at Altigreen and Exponent, to put this together. I mean, thank you so much. I'm very happy to
Awesome,
do
man. Honestly, this vehicle can't be the first time you're testing a 15-minute charge. So,
It's not.
what has it gone through?
We've done it 3,000 times on a single cell. And this particular vehicle has actually done 10,000 kilometers in just 40 days. So that's an average of 250 kilometers a day.
Wow.
Actually, on one particular day, we did 400 plus kilometers. But rapid charging this is 5 times. I think now we want to deliver this freedom and flexibility to drivers.
Awesome. Awesome. Exactly. That's what I want. So, shall we make this official?
Yeah, let's do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming today.
So, yeah. So, I guess my job's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
You
Make a move?
want to drive over?
Yeah.
you can just drive this.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Yeah.
I can help you back it up. Yeah.
Okay.